Hey, what's going on? Just a poor kid from the Bronx checking in with y'all on Sunday, August 31st in the year 2020. Please excuse the lighting. The sun hasn't rose yet. I've been at work for a little over an hour or so now, just enjoying the sun being rose, coming up. I posted something yesterday on Instagram, and social media being what it is, you know. I posted something to the effect that said Al Sharpton flew in a private jet to a protest of oppression in a private jet. Meanwhile, the private jet was paid for by poor working class black people. I thought it was funny, and I thought it was ironic. One young lady, she commented on the story on my Instagram, and she said, I saw it this morning. Now, before I usually get up in the morning, I usually go out in the living room. I do a daily 7 PT exercises to get the blood pumping, make my coffee, and get on the way. She said, oh, you must not like black people. Now, if you can't tell, I'm a black person. The young lady is black as well. So, although we are both intelligent, we are both college educated, we pretty much know. She just hit me with the "you're not black if you don't vote for me" line, like the Biden shit. So instead of me blocking her and cursing her out and I said, let's have the conversation. I said, I said, let's be clear. I said, let's be clear. For the most part, black people's issue isn't oppression. It's accountability. It's accountability for our actions and accountability for the choices that come with those actions, or the results of those choices, I should say. If you don't go to school, if you run the streets, if you get involved in street fuckery, and you wind up in the industrial prison system, that's your fault. Now, if the system is corrupt, as you say, and that may be true. People of color may get more time than a white man. But here's the thing. Let's stop going to fucking jail. Let's stop using the excuse of, well, there's no jobs. There's plenty of jobs. We just don't want to do them. Because the jobs that we used to do, now Mexicans are doing them, and they didn't surpass us already. Mexicans didn't already lapped us because they didn't took them jobs that we became too good for, and they decided, you know what? They're gonna take them jobs. They're gonna work hard. They're gonna pull themselves the fuck up. And they're going to do it quietly. So that's one thing I like about the Mexicans. They move quiet. They don't say too much. They come to work. They shut the fuck up. And they move quiet. And before you know it, they gone. You don't even see them no more. They somewhere else living in a house, nice truck, doing what the fuck they want to do. In America, where everybody's oppressed. That ain't white. She said to the fact that it's always a black person criticizing a black person. And I said to that, well, who is supposed to criticize those within the community besides those within the community? Al Sharpton has always been full of shit. And he Jesse Jackson, and those that profit off the victim mentality of many of us, that's their job. That's what they do. They only come around when supposedly the white man has done something to us. I've never seen Al Sharpton, and if anybody can come on here and correct me, post a link to a video. I've never seen Al Sharpton go in the community and get up in them drug dealers' face and say, y'all got to get the fuck up out of here with that shit. I've never seen Al Sharpton go up in the community and get in a pimp's face and say, hey, quit trying to pimp all young girls in the community. That shit is bullshit. But I always see him come around when supposedly the police do something, or supposedly the white man has oppressed us. Meanwhile, he ain't never seen a lean day in 50 fucking years. Now, because I'm from New York, I have more of a intimate, I wouldn't say intimate, but more of a personal understanding of how he always moved. A lot of people that ain't from New York ain't never lived in New York, ain't never lived up in the uptown, the Bronx and Harlem. Y'all don't really know too much about Al Sharpton. Y'all think he's a savior. He's full of shit. But the young lady says that she's oppressed. I said, sweetheart, I go on her Instagram page. She's skydiving. She's horseback riding. She's tandem skydiving with a white man. But she's oppressed. And here's the thing. My mom is 70-something years old and went to segregated schools. My grandmother, my mother lived through Jim Crow. And so did my grandmother and her mother, and so forth and so on. In today's age, if somebody do something to you at work that has a racial component, you can get them fired or removed if you go about it the right way. Let's stop saying, my mother and grandmother, they didn't have no HR. There wasn't no fucking HR back in the day. They had to deal with whatever the fuck that was told to them by a white person. They were oppressed. You motherfuckers today, we not oppressed. We just don't have, we lack the accountability for our actions for the most part, man, that put us where we are. We have to be honest with that, man. I was 120 pounds heavier than I am right now last year. That wasn't a white man's fault. That wasn't because of anything other than me eating my fucking feelings and not fucking working out and not eating right and not living a healthier lifestyle. That had nothing to do with the white man. You know what I'm saying? She telling me I don't like black people. She probably still feeds her kid fucking cereal in a box. And if you feed your kids, and I'm going to tell you this right now, if you feed your kids cereal in a box, you might as well just let them go ahead and smoke meth. Because you might as well just let them smoke meth. But I'm getting off the point. I think as a whole, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to hold ourselves accountable. Is no different than when women say, and women probably gonna come on this and attack me for it, but that's okay. When you have a child with a man that you know isn't consistent in his behaviors, you know he's not gonna provide for you. When you meet him, you ask him, do you have any children? He tells you, yeah, he's got 4 children. Well, where are they? Oh, they with their mothers. Oh, so when you gonna come see me if you busy seeing your children? Oh, I see them when I can. Ladies, if you have a child with that man, you have to take accountability for the fact that you have had a child with a man who does not take care of his responsibilities. Does that absolve him from what he should have done? Absolutely not. It doesn't. But we have to take accountability for the things that we have done personally. And it's no different than anything else. I mean, I've been stopped by the police. And I spent 20 years in law enforcement. I've been stopped by the police. And every time I was stopped by the police after I retired from the job, I got stopped down here in Virginia. I think the last time I got stopped down here in Virginia was about maybe 2 years ago. 3 years ago. And I had bought a vehicle. I had just bought the vehicle. It had temporary plates on it, and I didn't really know the instrument panel that well. So I had the high beams on. I was going to the gym, and a police officer, Virginia Beach police officer, was coming this way. I was going that way down Indian River Road. If you're from the area, you're familiar with what I'm talking about. I was going to turn on military and go to that Planet Fitness. He turned around, whoop, whoop, hit the whalers on me, pulled me over. I didn't know what I had done. We got up to the car, license and registration. He takes my license and registration. He walks to the front of my car, about 10 feet in front of my car, and he's leaning down looking. So I say, well, sir, officer, I said, hey, officer, I just had this car about 2 weeks. I didn't do any Fast and the Furious type shit to it. I didn't lower it, raise it, do anything. It's just a stop to how it came. He goes, no. Do you have your high beams on? I look on the instrument panel and I see the thing lit up. I click it and they go off. I said, oh shit, I had my high beams on. He said, yeah, you flashed me back there about a half a mile ago. I didn't know if you were drunk or signaling me or whatever, so I pulled you over. He said, where you going? I said, well, I'm heading to the gym. He looks at me. I got on PT gear. I got my shaker bottle sitting between my legs. He's like, all right, well, no problem. Well, take it easy, man. Just he handed me my stuff. I said, all right, take it easy. And I drove off. The time before that, about a year before that, I got pulled over for, I think I was in the school zone. Guy wrote me a ticket. I was speeding in the school zone. Hey, I took my ticket and carried my ass. I mean, but was I oppressed or was I in the wrong? See what I'm saying? Now, yeah, we can quote certain situations where maybe the person didn't do it right. That was the officer didn't do it right. But 9 times out of 10, we don't take a minute to say, you know what? This ain't the place for that. Let's take accountability of our actions and let's go forward. We don't want to do that a lot of times. I can't get belligerent with somebody and then when they respond in kind, say, hey, they oppressed me. No. We made a conscious choice, whether it was emotionally fueled or logically fueled, to be belligerent, and the outcome was what the outcome was. All I'm saying is 90% of the problem in our community, in my humble opinion, is accountability for our behavior. Accountability for our behavior. I mean, I'll use somebody that y'all have heard about, Megan Thee Stallion. And I'm only going to use Megan Thee Stallion because it's a perfect example of accountability. Now, I want to say, going forward, talking about Megan Thee Stallion, I don't believe she deserved to be shot. She didn't deserve to be shot. But my grandmother and my mother would have said, if Megan was my sister, what the fuck you out here fucking with these thug-ass rappers for any goddamn way? Go find you a man that's going to treat you right. Why are you out here singing, why are you out here with these thug-ass fucking rappers in the street acting a goddamn fool? Get your ass back in the house. That's what my grandmother would say. Now, that's what my mother would say. Now, maybe that's wrong, but I remember when, and I'm not saying that she deserved to be shot. I'm just saying she has to take accountability for the motherfuckers you hanging around. You hanging around motherfuckers that got guns and shit that ain't supposed to probably have guns. So you some shit might pop off. Another example, and I know this one is going to touch a lot of people, but the Central Park jogger case. Now, first off, I want to say those boys were railroaded by the system. A lot of police officers made their careers on that case. The assistant district attorney, she made her career on that case. Those young men were railroaded without a doubt. But we don't talk about the fact that they snuck out their homes to go in the park and go wild. If they had been in their house, they would have never been able to get pulled into the precinct for that bullshit. And their mothers could have been said, my son is right here in the house. He ain't fucking go nowhere. When that shit happened, my mother showed me the paper, the Daily News and the Post. She said, see, this is why I tell you to have your black ass in the house at night. She said, this is why. She showed me the paper the morning it happened, the next morning. This is why I tell you to have your little black ass in the house at night, because there ain't nothing out there but problems. You don't need to be out there letting a man fucking get you jammed up. This wasn't, now mind you, this happened, this wasn't the 1920s where the white man was just rolling up to people's houses and putting shotguns in motherfuckers' mouths and taking them and hanging them. These motherfuckers snuck out their home to go in the park and go wild and got caught up in the system. Again, they got railroaded, but they made a choice to put themselves in the path of that beast, and they got snatched up. Plain and simple. All I'm saying is we have to make better choices and be accountable for them choices, man. Now they're victims of, they're celebrities and they're revolutionaries and shit. Nah, they got fucked over by the system, but they got paid. And I don't care. No amount of money can give you your time, your life, your youth back. So what I say with this message that I'm saying is, many of us need to say, hey man, let's make a smarter choice. Let's take a second and make a smarter choice and have some accountability, man. A lot of y'all have a lot of energy for the white man and what he's supposedly doing, but no energy for the dudes that sell dope in your community. No energy for the dudes that try to pimp and pander young girls in our community. Shit like that, you know. It's plain and simple, man. Accountability is 90%. Accountability for our choices and how we go about changing those choices we make is 90% of our problem. That and parenting. Parenting is the other 10% is parenting. If parenting was, you can't throw money at a parenting issue. I don't care. I mean, many of black people, generations before me, didn't have shit. Didn't have a pot to piss in, and a window to throw it out of, but they had good parenting. Hey, don't do that shit. We don't have that no more. Parents want to be friends with their kids. Don't want to have no accountability. The teacher don't know what they're talking about. The teacher can't tell you shit. If the teacher tell you something, you call me right then. I'll go up there and cuss the teacher out. We talk about, and I'm gonna leave with this, man. We talk about many of our parents, and my homeboy Javon Clark, and I'm gonna put a link to his page because he gets deeper with this than me. That man is a master teacher, and you should be following his page. He talks about now we most of our parents put so much money and time and effort into trying to make our kids professional athletes when there's only about 300 or 400 professional athletes worldwide or countrywide, nationwide in America. But if you took the same energy and put it into that kid going to a 4-year college, getting a degree, and then maybe going to college for a few more years, that kid can take the bar exam. Now, instead of every year we got 300 prospects for the pros, when only one make it, we can have 300 new lawyers. And 300 new lawyers can be 300 new judges, or 300 ADAs, or 300 district attorneys, and change some shit, if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But that's too easy. That's a simple answer. You know what I'm saying? We talk about police brutality. All right. So instead of, hey, so why not this? Why not? We know that your child's not going to go right to college. So get him into the Explorer program. Within 2 years in the Explorer program, when he graduates high school, he can go take the police exam. Now we got 200 or 300 or 400 young black men and women. They go join police departments where they live at. Guess what? It changed the whole narrative. Now some people are going to say, well, it's not that easy. I say, well, no, nothing that you want is that easy. But crying that you oppress ain't going to change shit neither. Just a thought. And 300, and let's be clear, they can't stop you from taking the bar exam. They can't stop you from being a lawyer. But let's be clear, if 300 guys graduate high school, go into college, and become prospects for professional athletes, maybe one of them become a professional athlete, maybe 2. Whether happens to the rest of them could have all been lawyers and doctors and all of that. Why not? You study hard. You got cats from India that come here. They ain't no smarter than you. They just work hard. They study hard. They're not smarter than you. They just study harder than you. And they don't take a shortcut. And they realize they could change the path for their family in one generation. One generation just by going to school and educating themselves. Taking accountability for the choices that they make. That's all. All I'm saying is, man, we not really oppressed. I said actually all Americans are oppressed by the banks, by the credit system, and by debt. That's what oppresses all of us. I don't care who you are. If you a working class person in America, you go to work every day, or even if you own a business, you have to deal with debt, you have to deal with the banks and all that other shit that comes with that. I'm gonna close by saying I don't feel oppressed, man, at all. You know what I'm saying? But man, disrespect me regardless of the color of the skin, I'm gonna check them. I'm gonna let them know what it is, and I'm gonna keep on moving with my day. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. Everybody have a blessed Sunday, man. As you can see, the sun is rising over me, over the water, and it's a beautiful Sunday, man. I hope everybody's with their loved ones and have a good Sunday. I'm gonna knock this 8 hours out at work, and I'm gonna head home and enjoy my day as well. I'm gonna put the link to my man Javon's page because a lot of y'all should be following him. You know what I'm saying? That man is a master teacher, man.